Simple recipe. Hi, I'm Phil. Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking.
Pretty good.
Tonight on the show, there's company. Spin that camera around. Wow, incredible. Thanks, John. Tonight on the show, I'm going to teach you how to make a pasta amatriciana or something like that. It's an Italian recipe, and it's the type of thing where you do some of these, and if you see an Italian word you don't know how to pronounce, you pronounce a couple of syllables in the right way, and then you just add a zh or a sh and hope for the best. So that's what we're making tonight. So to start, we're gonna get some pasta water, also known as regular water. We're gonna get that boiling over here, and we'll get it nice and salty like the seas of Italy. That's right, the Italian Sea. And the correct meat from a classic take is guanciale, which is a pork jowl, the cheek of the pork that has been cured. That is hard to find, typically. So a lot of people either use pancetta, which is cured, I think it's cured pork belly, or they use bacon, which is smoked and cured pork belly. I happen to have a smoked pork jowl bacon from Wit Farm. So this is both cured, but it's also smoked. So in my opinion, we're kind of getting the best of both worlds. It's not the 100% traditional thing to use, but it is an incredibly epic piece of meat that I'm really excited to feature tonight. And also, something to know about the jowl is that it's actually fattier than the pork belly. It should typically be softer as you render it down. And unlike bacon that you would chop into very, very small pieces, you can have slightly larger pieces. So let us go ahead and get that chopped up. So I'm going to kind of make my way through this big hunk of meat. And again, you know, if this was bacon or even pancetta, I would be trying to chop this up into smaller pieces, but we're gonna have something a little bit more substantial today. So you can see these are kind of like, oh yeah, Arthur, goodness gracious. We're gonna have a little bit more substantial stuff. So it'll probably take me a while to chop this up into those pieces, and then we'll get them sauteing. I would like to acknowledge that the reference recipe says that it calls for about, at most, half a pound of guanciale, and I'm using 1.5 pounds of jowl, so this will be a meat-heavy representation of this dish. But let's go ahead and get that into our pan. I meant to put a tiny bit of olive oil in there just to get things going. I think this pan might actually even be a little bit small for the amount we're doing today, but that's okay. We'll just cook it down. It'll be fine. So we're gonna cook that. We're gonna try to brown the jowl, and we'll give you updates on that. But Ray needs a drink, so I'm gonna go make that for him. Okay, so the sauce for today will be a tomato base, and we're gonna use whole peeled tomatoes of a good quality. You can use San Marzanos if you believe in those. And this particular activity is great to involve your children or your friends, whoever has the cleanest hands. And today, that's Kayla.
It's me.
So we got the canned tomatoes. We put them in the bowl, like so. And then you just get in there and you break them up until you're happy with that process.
Oh. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. This was great.
I'm still working on the jowl, but it is frying up nicely, so we don't have too much more to go. Get some nice browning. I think it'd probably be better to get footage of squishy tomatoes.
The squishies are squashed. They're squashed.
She's already done it.
Already.
Okay, so our jowl here is nicely browned. You can let this go to your heart's desire, but part of why I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the recipe is we will continue to cook it, and my water's boiling, so I just kind of want to move things along a little bit here. Typically, this sauce is a little bit spicy, and you could either use black pepper or red chili flake, or both. So we'll do a little bit of both today. Just going to use just a smattering of red chili flake, and then of course, if you do like a large grind black pepper into the frying fat, the oils from the black pepper will release and make everything taste really nice. So we'll get that going. I also want to comment that you can add aromatics such as onion and garlic to this. So it's very common, and I probably will. And if you wanted to add them sooner, you certainly could do that as well. So I think I'm just going to add a little bit of onion, some garlic. But if you want a more straightforward flavor, you don't have to do that. We'll do half an onion today. Rain, what can you find all of the letters of onion in?
Gee, I wish we were using a whole onion.
I guess technically correct.
The people aren't gonna like that.
So I'm just gonna mince it up pretty fine. Partially because I probably should have thrown it in earlier. And if you chop it small, it'll cook fast. We'll go ahead and pop that in. And there's some larger pieces because I didn't do that good of a job of chopping. What you'll also notice is that we have a very lovely fat base in the pan now, which I think is part of the recipe. Like from pretty much everything I was looking at, no one said drain the fat, so we're not gonna. That pork is looking real nice. And while we're at it, we'll just do 1 clove of garlic, one quick one. And I'm very happy with our decision to add those things because it now smells wonderful. It smelled great before, but now it's wonderful. I feel like with bacon and pork products too, there's kind of like this magic moment where the pork like all caramelizes all at once, and we are in that zone right now. And doesn't it look lovely? Let that fry a couple more minutes. While that's going, let's get our pasta going. We're having bucatini today, which is a thick spaghetti with a little hole in the middle. And those are nice because the little hole fills with sauce, so it's almost like a little sauce-stuffed pasta. Kayla looks really excited about it. So we're gonna cook 2 boxes. 1.5 pounds of pasta today.
So do you know what my favorite thing to cook is?
Is it pasta?
It's too much spaghetti.
Too much spaghetti. That's good. That's good. I like that. Some people just call that meal prep.
Yep.
So let's get that in here. Okay, I think that our onions probably could have fried longer. Or maybe I'll just let them keep going. Yeah, it's looking good. So I'm gonna do something that I'm a little scared of, but it's okay. Which is we're gonna add some wine to this pan. And there's so much fat in here that I think it'll just go crazy. But that's fine. So traditionally what we would do to kind of deglaze the pan, we'd use a little bit of white wine. Dry white wine, which is, with these flavors, is a little bit unusual. A lot of times you would see a red wine, but I'm not gonna use a dry white wine because I have an open bottle of mead, which is honey wine. And the honey wine, contrary to it being made of honey, this is the driest wine that I've maybe ever had, and it's so bad I can't drink it. So I've just been cooking with it. And what the hell is going on with this pasta? It just does not want to go down.
He's made it worse.
I did make it worse, you're right. Oh, it's breaking now. Well, that's fine. Okay, let's get that wine in there. We need about a 1/4 cup. It's not actually gonna do anything too crazy because of where we're at. See, no problem. And when you add it in there, you can use your smooth tongs. Your smooth tongs to scrape the bottom of the pan, get that flavor up there. Smooth tongs and the pain is gone. All right, look at that. That was not even that big of a deal, so that's fine. And we're gonna add those Kayla smashed tomatoes right in. And we're gonna boil this, kind of simmer it while the pasta's cooking. We'll go ahead and incorporate that in the state of your choosing, but today it's Ohio because it is not for tax purposes. Come on, you pasta, what are you doing? I meant to look at the box. We're supposed to cook this al dente and finish it in the pan. Crazy idea. What does it say, Kayla?
For authentic al dente pasta, boil for 7 minutes, stirring occasionally.
Okay, I'm gonna do 7 minutes now because
Okay.
we didn't get all that pasta in there. Okay, one of the final components of this dish is going to be Pecorino Romano cheese. And it's got to be Pecorino Romano. Pecorino, it means the sheep's milk. I had to go to 3 stores to find this. I hope it's worth it. Don't actually know, so let me just eat a little bit of it. Tastes good. Is that significantly different from any other cheese? No. I am a Philistine though, I will acknowledge that. I put the Phil in Philistine. So we're gonna finish this sauce with a big old thing of cheese here, but not till it's at the very end. One thing I've noticed is that the sauce is a little bit thin, and I'm imagining that will change a bit when we get a little bit of starch in there from the pasta. But it really is just like bacon and tomato. You know, it looks good. It tastes great. Let's take a look at what our pasta is doing. I think we are probably in al dente territory. Ooh.
You okay, bro?
I'm so sorry. Yeah. Oh, it's good. It is al dente. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little mug of that pasta water, Pop that right in the sauce. And you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and add the cheese now. Mix that in. Should just kind of melt in. Now in an ideal world, the most ideal world, you'd actually finish the pasta in the pan as it's simmering in the sauce and cook the last bit of the pasta in the sauce so it absorbs some of it. But we can't do that because too much pasta for this pan, so we're gonna do it in reverse. Take your pasta and throw it down the drain. Joke never gets old. So like I said, we don't live in that ideal world, so we're just gonna finish the pasta by dumping all of the sauce onto it rather than finishing it in the cooking sauce. Oh well, we will survive. It'll still be delicious, I'm sure of it. And the residual heat of this pasta will also continue to let the pasta cook. And my, doesn't that look lovely? It does. Okay, let's go ahead and plate this up for the photo. What I would like to point out, you know, as we toss the pasta together, you can see that the pasta is actually nicely coated and it's not like drowning in sauce, which I believe is the ideal thingy for pasta. I like my pasta drowning in sauce personally, but it's not as legit. And of course, you know that we're all about keeping it legit here on PGC. And we will top it with just a little bit more Pecorino Romano, which you can just, you can put on the table for your diners to enjoy. And that's it. Okay, let's try this pasta. That's wonderful. I feel like I could have made it a little spicier, but it just has a really nice bacon and tomato flavor. This is not that complicated, guys. Wow, good dish. I gotta cook other things. Maybe we'll get footage of other people trying it, but not this plate because it's mine. And that's how you do it. I love bucatini. We'll see you next time. PGC.